Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys Tyler Smith exits field with worrying injury amid Week 17 battle versus Lions. Dallas Cowboys left guard Tyler Smith was injured late in the third quarter of Saturday's game against the Detroit Lions. Smith immediately grabbed his left foot after blocking for Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott on an incompletion to Brandon Cooks. He eventually limped off the field and into the sideline medical tent. The Cowboys listed Smith as questionable to return with a foot injury, according to ESPN's Todd Archer. Tyler Smith questionable to return with a foot injury. He's not sitting on the bench next to Tyron Smith, his normal spot. TJ Bass is. Maybe he's trying to keep the foot loose? Now Jordan Lewis slow to get up. Dallas capped off the 10-play, 42-yard drive with a 51-yard Brandon Aubrey field goal to tie the game 10-10. The Lions since had Michael Badgley kick a 30-yard field goal after driving to the Cowboys' 7 before stalling. The field goal was set up by a 63-yard pass from Jared Goff to Jameson Williams. The foot injury isn't Smith's first injury for Dallas this season. He also went down with a hamstring injury ahead of Week 1 during a Cowboys practice. He underwent an MRI, but the injury wasn't deemed too serious. After the Cowboys drafted him in the first round last season, Smith started all 17 games as a rookie. He was a key part of an offensive line that ranked fourth best in the league last season by allowing just 27 sacks. The Cowboys escaped with a 20-19 win after the Lions scored a touchdown with less than 30 seconds left but failed in their two-point conversion attempt. CeeDee Lamb sets Cowboys single-season record for receptions, receiving yards in win over Lions. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb made history on Saturday night against the Lions. The 24-year-old officially set the Cowboys franchise record for both receptions, 122, and receiving yards, 1,651, in a single season. "It's a real moment," Lamb said after the win, via the team transcript. "Obviously, shout out to my guys, you know we continue to work, continue to be able to continue to grow. And I mean the show, I wouldn't be able to do any of without them, and I'm looking forward to keeping it going." It didn't take very long for Lamb to get going. He tied Michael Irvin's receptions record in style with his 111th of the season on his second grab of the night, an astonishing 92-yard touchdown that at one point looked like a potential safety. Instead, Dak Prescott dodged a blitz while in the end zone and sent the ball deep toward Lamb, who caught it past a falling defender and cruised the rest of the way to score. It was the longest offensive play by any team in the NFL entering Week 17, and it was the Cowboys' second longest play in team history, per NFL research. "Shout out Doc for using his legs," Lamb said of the sequence. "I just did what I could to stay available, and once he gave me the opportunity, I took it." He broke the tie with another catch in the second frame, and after entering the game trailing Irvin by 179 receiving yards, he managed to pass him in that category on an 11-yard reception in the fourth quarter, his 10th of the night to that point. As he has all season, Lamb used the primetime matchup to again prove how vital he is to Dallas offense, posting a career-high 227 receiving yards on 13 receptions. He joined Michael Thomas, 2019, as the only players in NFL history to have 6 games with 11 or more receptions in a single season. To top it all, he also fielded Detroit's last-ditch onside kick to seal the result. The Cowboys just squeaked by with a 20-19 win, but the victory nonetheless means there's still a chance at the NFC East title. If Dallas wins its Week 18 matchup against the Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles drop either of their remaining 2 games, Lamb and company will take back the division. Regardless of how that plays out, Lamb's stellar season is now in the history books, and he's gaining momentum as playoff action nears. Cowboys predicted to add dynamic threat to complement CeeDee Lamb. The Dallas Cowboys are focused on getting past their 2-game losing skid, but the NFC East squad is also being predicted to add a WR in the future. There is no question that there will be a reload of sorts on offense, but whether or not that includes Troy Franklin remains to be seen. In a December 29 article, Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski addressed how Dallas could approach the 2024 NFL Draft. Referencing the offseason, the Cowboys paid former WR Amari Cooper and drafted CeeDee Lamb. Sobleski thinks Jerry Jones could do something similar in 2024. While considering all of the options, the simplest solution is bringing in another dynamic threat, especially one like Oregon's Troy Franklin, who is both a vertical and yak threat every time he steps onto the field, Sobleski writes. Franklin's greatest asset is his explosiveness, which is what the Cowboys expected from Cooks. Yet the veteran is averaging fewer yards after catch than both Ferguson and Gallup. It makes sense. Dallas has sorely lacked a consistent deep ball option. As good as Lamb is, his greatest attribute is his quickness rather than his top speed. Franklin has already clocked a 4.35 40-yard dash time and looks to be a prime prospect for development. Franklin's Oregon resume. If NFL or Cowboys fans want a quick sample of Franklin's tape, just watch the highlight below. While USC's secondary was far from good this year, they were athletic. Franklin ran right by them like they were defensive tackles. Franklin was a slow burn at Oregon, but 2023 has been a definitive breakout campaign. After just 209 yards on 18 receptions in 2021, he has taken 2 big steps forward in his role. Sports Reference shows that he caught 61 passes for 891 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2022, before going off in 2023. Franklin averaged a whopping 17.1 receiving yards per catch in 2023, totaling 1,383 receiving yards on 81 catches. He reached the end zone 14 times, the majority of which were through deep balls like the one below. Essentially, there's a lot to like about Franklin. He's 6'3", fast as can be and showing tangible signs of improvement. Cowboys could say goodbye to multiple WRs as Sobleski touches on. The Cowboys have paid a lot of money to Michael Gallup and Brandon Cooks for lackluster production. Considering that QB Dak Prescott might throw for 4,500 yards by the end of the regular season, Cooks and Gallup having just 976 receiving yards between them is not ideal. The 2 receivers are going to make a combined $23.85 million in 2024. That is far too much for the current rate of production, so it's not unlikely that one or both could be released this upcoming offseason. The problem is that the Cowboys will still be on the hook due to guarantees, per Spotrac's numbers. Cutting Gallup and his $13.85 million cap hit means that Dallas will still be without $13 million due to his guaranteed money, while Cooks is set to make $10 million in 2024 but $6 million is guaranteed. So, it's not like Dallas will free up a bunch of money by releasing Cooks and Gallup. In fact, they still may be better off by just keeping the 2 receivers.